Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this.
You're listening to The Spooky Darlings, where three sisters share all kinds of stories that are fascinating, interesting. Hayley is going to take us in today to a crazy cult story that I know nothing about. I'm actually really excited to hear about it. Hayley, you want to take it away from here?
Well, and who are you?
Oh, I'm Emily.
I'm Nettie.
And I'm Hayley.
And I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased that I was not the one to forget to introduce us today.
Now I'll take it away. Okay, so today, as Emily said, we are talking about a cult. And this cult was established by a woman named Sheryl Walker Ruthven, and it is a doomsday cat cult.
Ooh.
So
what?
I was watching HBO's The Curious Case of, and they have like separate episodes of like different kind of crazy things. And I was watching this episode and I was like, well, I immediately have to rewatch this episode because I have to take notes and tell my sisters everything.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So that's my only source is the HBO's Curious Case of series.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of this series.
It's fun.
Okay.
If you start watching it, you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna jot it down.
So in 2003, Sheryl is the Pentecostal church leader in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State to be specific. And it's a fire and brimstone style of teaching, definitely pushing the boundaries of traditional faith. This is in Bellingham, Washington, and she gains the following of about 200 people. Her husband, Mark, who she shares 3 children with, leaves her because of this like crazy teaching that she is doing. And he doesn't go quietly. He takes her to court for 50-50 custody.
Okay.
So, cut to Mary Walker. She is married to Mark Walker, and Mark Walker is the ex of Sheryl Ruthven.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Cheryl's the Pentecostal preacher or Pentecostal
she's
lady.
the cult leader.
Her husband,
Mark,
left her and married this new lady.
He left Sheryl, and then after a while, he met this woman, Mary. A few years later, they get married.
Got it. Mary. Okay.
So Mark and Mary are trying to blend their families. They each have 3 kids. And, there's ups and downs that come with that. And on their first trip of blending these kids, they go on a ski trip. And they have fun. And the trip went really well. And then they come back and Sheryl is waiting in their driveway.
What?
For them to come back. And they're unpacking from the trip. Like, Mary thinks it's kind of weird, but she's like, whatever. I'm sure she's eager to see her kids. And they're unpacking from their trip. And Sheryl just lets herself into the house and just kind of starts walking around, uninvited and just hanging out in the living room. Mary just gets the impression that Sheryl is going to be kind of tough to deal with.
Okay, so what year this is?
2003.
Okay, so this is before like location sharing and stuff like that. So she just was like a psycho just waiting.
Yeah, she knew the day that they're coming back from the trip and just decided like,
okay,
I'm going to just be right there to scoop my kids up ASAP.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's not that abnormal, I guess, to be waiting for the kids, especially with shared custody, but it's odd to just walk on in.
Uh-huh.
Is this...
I think so as well.
Was this her former home? Or was it a completely new...
This is Mary and Mark's home.
Yeah, that's weird. Sheryl.
Yeah, you don't just walk into somebody's house.
No, it's strange.
The waiting in the driveway thing, I kind of felt like was also a little weird. Like, park in the street. You know,
Right.
that's cool. Cool to wait for your kids. Cool to be eager to grab them. But parked in the driveway and then letting yourself into this house,
Yeah.
that is overstepping
with
boundaries.
no, like, hey, is it okay if I come in? Just kind of wandered in without a word.
Overstepping boundaries,
That's
for
odd.
sure.
That's
Which
odd.
we will see from Sheryl, that Sheryl does not like when people have boundaries with her. So flash forward to 2008. She's got her cult going. She's got her teachings going that she's doing, which start off like traditional Pentecostal, fire and brimstone. And then we're going to see that she's going to start blending in a lot of different religions, just kind of as she sees fit.
Okay.
And she's got a very distinct style of preaching. Like, she's got her voice is so weird. It's, like, what are you gonna do to get my attention? And she does this double finger point.
I don't like that
a lot. It's weird.
But I do love it when you get to do voices, and I hope we get to hear some of that in this episode.
I loved it too. As much as possible. You know, I also love to do voices. So an attractive man starts coming to Sheryl's church, and his name is fantastic. Rick Madrid.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
he's kind of a bad boy. You know, he's not your usual churchgoer. And Sheryl is like zooms in on him, and she's love bombing, doing all of like those things that kind of come with grooming somebody. And Rick claims to have visions when he is with Sheryl. Like, that's how intense this is. And especially when they are together in bed.
Oh.
So he fully moves to Bellingham and they get married. And all the while, everybody is talking about how Mark Walker is going to die. Why are they talking Sorry. Why are they talking
It might be
about...
easier if you go, why are they talking about how Mark
Why are they? Why are they talking about how Mark Walker is gonna die?
She's doing the 2-finger point. Sheryl Walker style.
So Sheryl, for years, has been preaching that her ex-husband, Mark Walker, was evil and he was going to die. She had her parishioners praying for his death every day.
That's so odd.
She convinced Rick that them being together would bring about Mark's death. Rick even said on their wedding day he thought that would be the day that Mark would just fall dead.
How is this woman compelling so many people to listen to her? I just don't know if I could believe someone with that voice.
No.
Well, unless he's Mickey. I'll believe Mickey.
Oh my gosh, she does sound like Mickey Mouse. Oh, God. Okay. So Sheryl and Rick start visiting the home of Mark and Mary, unbeknownst to Mark and Mary. And Sheryl had been in the home, and Rick said that Sheryl told him the layout of the home. And Rick, under the influence of Sheryl, begins to think about how he is going to bring about Mark's death. And Mark Walker, who is with us today, he was not aware that his ex-wife was plotting not only with Rick Madrid, but the congregation of her church and his own children.
Wait, you're okay. So Mark's kids are like believers in the cult.
Yes.
And when you say that Sheryl and Rick Madrid are in the home, it's like when Mark and Mary are gone, they just go break in, or when the kids are there?
I may have misspoke. So they don't go in the home, but they go to the home.
Okay.
And Sheryl is like, that is their home. That is where they live.
Right.
And I've been in the house. When you walk into this space. And then if you go here, there.
She's able to explain the
Telling him
layout.
the layout.
But she explains why she was weirdly waiting and then just wandered on in and started wandering around.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing, Sheryl? Nothing. That was my imitation of Sheryl.
What are you doing?
How are you going to keep me out of your home? So
Locks?
So Sheryl was having her children go around at the dinner table and tell her how they would kill their dad.
That's what crazy.
Psychotic. That's awful.
Yeah. So, and Mark would not learn of this attempt on his life or the manipulation of his kids for years. So, back to Rick. He says he was definitely manipulated by Sheryl, and he says that the only thing that stopped him from killing Mark was God. Rick goes to Mary and Mark's house. He sees Mark outside, and Sheryl had started purchasing guns. I forgot this part. Sheryl had started purchasing guns, and she starts getting Rick to do target practice, envisioning shooting Mark. So in 2008, Rick goes and he's got literally Mark in his sights, gun pointed, zoned in. And he says that God just said no. And so Rick goes home to Sheryl and says, quote, "If Mark Walker is supposed to die, why did God just intervene and save his life? Explain that to me, prophet."
And Sheryl was like,
Sheryl throws Rick out.
Oh, of course, because she's like, I'm the one that talks to God, not you, Rick.
And she's like literally
Rick.
calling herself a prophet now. Rick's out.
Was she like a hella hottie?
She was really pretty. I just looked her up because I was wondering the same thing. She was a beautiful woman.
Sheryl definitely like takes care of herself. Somebody in the show was like, she looked really good with her clothes off.
Okay. Because I'm wondering why
a former boyfriend.
Why all these? Why does she have these followers? It's got to be. I don't know. The minute I
her
heard you
church
imitate,
had a lot of women.
did it? Did they? Did it?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the cat piece to come in.
that's coming.
I can't wait.
So, how did Sheryl find herself the leader of a large group of people? After Mark and Sheryl met, dated, and quickly got married, I believe within 6 months, they also didn't wait long to have kids. And Mark liked to go to church. Sheryl wasn't actually really interested in church until they attended a church called Gates of Praise. And Gates of Praise did things like speaking in tongues. Anybody want to do an impression of speaking in tongues?
I don't think it's appropriate.
Exorcisms, removing demons from people.
Oh.
Which was not Mark's scene, but Sheryl loved it. And specifically the leader, Debbie Lynch. And Mark says that Debbie and Sheryl became very close. So close, he said, that it seemed like it was an affair. And Debbie made Sheryl an associate pastor of her church. And Sheryl loved this leadership. She loved the attention. She loved being in the spotlight. And
you know what it's kind of reminding me of?
Who?
Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt. When Jody Hildebrandt like brought Ruby in and was like, "You're going to help me with this. You're going to be like my celebrity person." Ruby Franke loved the attention and loved feeling important.
Oh, yeah. So Sheryl eventually branches out on her own and started her own ministry called Freedom Fire Ministries. And this is in 2001. So according to Mark, Sheryl didn't really know the Bible. But that didn't hold her back. She just made up her own sermons. And
I
Nettie,
didn't know that was
to assign you.
allowed.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this changes a few things.
The purpose... Oh, wait, should I do it in Cheryl's voice?
You can do it. Yeah.
Okay. The purpose of all demonic soul type is to bring you under the spiritual canopy of authority. So here's the godly soul type. Here's the ungodly soul type. The ungodly soul type will buddy up to the godly soul type, and all of a sudden I will start manifesting symptoms of cancer.
Oh my gosh. You are, I have not heard Cheryl's voice, but you are spot on for Mickey Mouse.
Thank you. I actually was like, I haven't heard Sheryl. I'm going to go for Mickey.
You nailed it.
You nailed
that
it.
That was so good.
Thank you.
But as you guys can hear, that's a lot of gobbledygook. Like,
Yeah.
That's just a lot of word nonsense.
Yes, there's a word for it actually in like within the religious, like people that talk about religion. There's a word for that kind of speech where you just sort of
like hypnotic
say
speech.
Things. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this added trick of using the Mickey Mouse voice is probably what hooked a lot of people in.
They're like, this feels like my childhood. I can't quite put my 2 fingers on it.
They're like, why? Why do I believe in this and feel like going to Disneyland at the same time?
So Mark said that people believed that she was a prophet of God, but Mark did not. And with Sheryl, she could not be contradicted. She could not have her husband doubting her.
Wow,
and
so odd. I mean, good, I guess, like more power to her, but
so you can kind of see like Mark was correct to leave. But unfortunately, he still had to share their children with this person who's quite dangerous. So we have former cult member Mary Lancaster, and she said, quote, "She really was the joy at the center of this congregation." Another quote, "She had a knack of reading people from the moment they met." Sheryl starts to bring in other religions and beliefs to her teachings. So the slow roll of Catholic mysticism, Egyptian alchemy, paganism, Wiccan, Mother Earth, chakras, crystals, the end of times, a feeling of dread, your sense of direction was Sheryl.
Got it.
And
she just combined all of these things, and then like with her dynamic personality, just was able to kind of hook people in. Sounds like she was good at that, like instant reading and love bombing.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I've met people like that where you just feel so instantly, almost like you feel like, wow, I just feel good when I'm with them. You know what I mean? And I've like interacted with people like that, and then it doesn't last though because it's
not sustainable.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like I feel like people like Sheryl, they want everything to be all peak, and that's just not how relationships work.
You could say it's like a charade in a fragile vase.
Yes.
And we need to stop the charade.
You need to stop the charade.
And rearrange your schedule.
So Mark, feeling like he does not want to lose his kids, he wants to be with them all the time, but he feels like he needs to get out of this toxic situation. And Sheryl, feeling Mark's like lack of support, she decides to accuse Mark of pushing her, which lands Mark in jail for one night. And then that is when Mark says divorce and calls his attorney. And through the divorce, Mark was told, and this is like kind of what the courts told you at the time. I don't know. I think they still kind of say this. Said to both parents, don't speak ill of the other parent. That is just harmful to your children. So Mark just makes everything about the kids, and he honors this thing. But as we know, Sheryl did not. And Mark just makes the kids the center. He just wants to love them. And then years later, when he finds out Sheryl was telling the kids to pray for his death, well, he was just trying to keep everything positive. And I just find it so
nuts.
I find it so odd that the kids like clung to their mom so hard, like to where they are still not in contact with their father to this day, and they are still part of Sheryl's cult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me wonder a couple things. It makes me wonder, first of all, it sounds like, this episode of Curious Cases of Curious Cults, whatever it was. The episode that you watched sounds like it was from Mark's perspective. And I'm not saying like it's the cult sounds totally wacky, but I do wonder if there was an element of abuse or something in Mark's personality that made it easy for the kids to turn on him. I wonder.
I think the abuse was coming from Sheryl, and it was incredible manipulation because the talking heads on this, they are Mark and Mary and a few former cult members. They reached out to Sheryl and her children, and they all refused to talk. And it seems that Mark is very close with Mary's kids too.
And that Mary's kids.
And I mean, just as we get more into who Sheryl is, she's the abuser.
Right. And there's also like a thing, like it's like alienation of a parent or something where one parent does kind of like always speak ill of the other one. And it can cause these, like it does cause a shift in the way the child views the parent, even if there isn't.
Yes, that's true. And often kids will outgrow it. They'll kind of like grow up and realize it happened.
Yeah.
Especially.
But you do bring up a good point.
I mean, yeah, I just wonder, like, you know, perspective wise, that I just think it takes a lot for a child to actually completely cut off contact with one parent. But I mean,
well, that's how that comes about is that is part of this. And so let's put a pin in this conversation, and let's talk about it again once I get to that.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. So Sheryl is telling the kids to pray for his death. And like, this is a requirement around their dinner table, as former cult members would tell us that it was mandatory. And so over time, Mark sees the wedge between himself and the kids grow. And Cheryl's family is not the only one that she would sow division in.
Okay, so this was a thing she did.
So now we hear from Rod, and Rod is the ex-husband of a cult member.
Okay. Ooh, she is so giving me Jody Hildebrandt vibes.
Right?
Are they the same person? Okay, never mind.
Rod met his now ex-wife at a church in Vancouver. So we're in Canada. And he said that they had a wonderful, few years of marriage. And then in 2002, he learned his wife had been attending Freedom Fire Ministries. And this is just across the border.
Okay.
Which was surprising to Rod because he had a work schedule where he would work here we are. He worked 2 out of 3 Sundays.
Okay.
And when he wasn't at work on a Sunday, they went to their regular church without the wife saying anything about this other church she was attending. And then one Sunday, she asks him to come to this new church. And he was like, of course, I love church. Their marriage had been struggling lately. And with him saying that he would go to this new church, suddenly his wife is just very doting. And I love you. And what a wonderful husband you are. And I'm just so excited that we're going to go on this journey. Do an impression of Sheryl with this line right here.
What makes your covenant cut a full circumcised heart?
That's very accurate to how her inflections go.
I don't know what that means.
I know. This is the word nonsense that she does.
Yeah. Covenant. I saw the word circumcised and I kept waiting for a different word to appear. After I read heart, I was like, is it? That's it? That's the quote.
So with this kind of preaching, sermons, at
rhetoric,
the pulpit,
word salad.
Word salad, yes.
Rod was not a fan. A certain sermon that he definitely was not a fan of. Sheryl took a pitcher of water and she put a full box of salt in it, stirs it, and then demands that everybody come and drink. And Rod says it reminded him of, anybody want to guess?
The ocean?
Jim Jones.
Oh, Jim Jones. Yes. I was thinking salt water. I thought you meant the flavor of the water, what it reminded him of.
Saltines. Salty snacks.
So he felt like this was a trial run, and he watched Sheryl watching everyone and taking note of if they hesitated or not. And his wife had been attending this cult for a year at that point, and she did not hesitate. And that really scared Rod.
Wow.
So now we move back to Mary Lancaster. The year is 2004. And Mary had been trying to pray the gay away her entire life.
Oh, no.
And
Poor Mary. Wait, Mary is not the one married to Mark. Different
we've
Mary.
got Mary Walker, who is
Okay.
married to Mark, and we have Mary Lancaster.
Okay, got it.
And she's so cute in this documentary. She's like wearing this yellow and black button-up shirt with cats on it.
Okay.
She's so cute.
That's where the cat cult comes in. It's just that shirt.
No, Mary says Sheryl doesn't own cats and she is allowed to still like cats even after what she went through in the cult with cats.
I think everyone's allowed to like cats.
So Mary and Mary's sister, they both joined Cheryl's church. And one day Mary was playing the piano and singing. And when Sheryl heard Mary, Sheryl falls to the ground and she starts crying. And she says, "When people hear your music, they will be healed." And from that moment, Mary was hooked.
Oh, yeah.
She had been desperate to hear that radical acceptance, and
Right.
Sheryl did it.
Oh.
Sheryl saw her need and just met it right there. And
Oh my gosh, can you imagine, Nettie, if somebody told you that your music would heal them and fell to the ground? You'd be like, I could never stop singing.
I don't know. I mean,
Kidding.
I'm
totally
going to be
kidding.
weirded out.
I'm trying to think. It depends on who it is. I think if most people, I'd be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not that good.
You're like, get up off the ground, please.
Please get out.
I don't have time for this.
Please. It's like, listen, if you want to come see me, you can come watch sometime in the next couple of years. I'll probably be in a show.
This isn't free. I'm starting a Patreon right now, okay?
You know what? I'm going to start a singing podcast. I just decided. That's what I say to the person. I didn't actually just decide that right now. That's what I say. That we're still in this tiny skit.
Yeah.
I say that to the person. I was like, so if people want to be healed, they're going to have to pay.
Yeah. On your Patreon.
Yeah, that's just like Jesus
So
taught.
it's called a Patreon, just like Jesus taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mine's not anything. My healing has nothing to do with religion.
Has to do with wine.
Sure. I guess Hayley's now involved in my podcast.
Yes, I am.
Aw.
Oh, you too.
Obviously, you're there.
Obviously, it's this podcast.
Oh,
It's all three of us, always.
It's like our Patreon.
Emily, you and I drink wine while Nettie sings.
perfect.
Listen, guys, we're not going to do a demonstration because it really is. You have to pay
No,
for this.
listeners, tune into our Patreon.
We don't have one.
Yet.
Yet. So with this, Mary starts to fall in love with Sheryl.
Oh.
And Sheryl invites Mary for a private worship session. And while they are sitting on a couch, Sheryl turns to Mary and says, "We need to, quote, go into covenant." Meaning they aren't married to each other, but they are committed to each other. And this is where a sexual relationship starts between Sheryl and Mary Lancaster.
Okay.
And
So she's pulling out the old trick of like, God just told me you and I are supposed to have intimate relations.
Yep.
Okay.
Sexual manipulation.
That is a common
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it?
tactic.
Common theme.
Trope.
Cult tactic. Yes, common theme across cults.
Mm-hmm. So, with Mary and Cheryl's relationship, Mary felt like she had finally found her person. And Sheryl told her what they had was not homosexual because at the pulpit, Sheryl preached against homosexuality. What she said they had was just a bond.
Well, and if Mary, you said that she had been spending her whole life trying to pray the gay away, this was probably like a relief to her.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, oh, so I'm okay. Because like these feelings I've been having, they're not actually gay. It's just a bond.
Just a bond. And so Mary and Sheryl would sleep together during the week. And then on Sundays, gay is bad. So Mary did feel conflicted, but she loved what they had. And then things changed. Sheryl told Mary that they were no longer together and totally broke Mary's heart. And Sheryl just cut her off.
Just ghosted.
But Mary is still in Cheryl's congregation. She's still a
Wow.
member of this cult. And so Sheryl just, like Mary said that Sheryl just went on as if nothing had ever happened between them. And it just destroyed her.
The kind of narcissism you have to be able to treat people that way.
Right? And Mary said that she stayed because she thought she would die if she stopped believing in Sheryl. This is like the kind of doomsday preaching that Sheryl did. You believe in Sheryl, and if you don't believe in Sheryl, death. So enter a man named Sanjan. And Sanjan is Sheryl's boyfriend.
Okay.
And this is the man who says, actually what he says, she looked good in lingerie.
Well.
So Sanjan is outside of the cult, but he totally complies with Sheryl. And he says that he was very infatuated with her. And he kind of theorizes that Sheryl was experimenting with her influence and control outside of the cult.
Okay.
With him specifically. And he's kind of an artsy guy. He had a ton of art all around his house. Actually, he lives in a really cool looking house. It's one of those kind of like octagon house, like, or hexagon houses. Yeah, he's kind of like a cool hippie guy, and he had a lot of artwork, and some of them were nudes, which Sheryl took offense to. And she
because they weren't of her.
She demanded that he burn the paintings. And so he took $50,000 worth of nude paintings and burned them.
Oh, my goodness.
Because Sheryl said they were portals for evil. And looking back, he kind of does this like yelling to the heavens thing where he's like, how could I be so stupid?
Oh, no. Poor Sanjay?
Sanjan.
Poor Sanjan.
And so, like, this is kind of where he reflects and thinking that Sheryl is just trying to harness, gauging her ability to control people, which is pretty high. And Sheryl had a talent of bringing in a new practice of religion and then tying it to what they were already doing. Enter the cats. And as we have already said...
Finally.
Cat obsession is not new to religion. Ancient Egyptians believed that cats were vessels of their gods. And Sheryl would take things to the extreme with this new addition. So enter Eva's Eden, which is a cat rescue.
Okay.
Supposedly a nonprofit. And what Sheryl would have her followers do is go to shelters throughout Washington, take the cats that were scheduled to be put down, which you can acquire for free, and then take them to the new rescue, nurse them back to health. And Eva's Eden was a place that people could come and visit and like hang out with the cats. So like this had a very like forward facing face of come and hang out with the cats, see which one you want to adopt. And Sheryl began to work with any shelter that she could, and members were assigned cats. And then when you take the cat home, it comes before yourself. It comes before your husband. It comes before your kids. So before you eat, your cat eats. And you make sure the cat's area is clean and spotless. And you do this before you can even get your kids to school.
Okay, so were these feral cats?
Cats from cat rescues.
So rescues, but the ones that were about to be put down.
That could be a lot of feral cats, it sounds like.
Cats, I would assume, or just like really sickly.
Yep.
Because I think that most rescues do their best to not put animals down. I guess I don't know.
But they got them from shelters, not from cat rescues.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So Sheryl kind of starts to sow some like contention between members, which I think she did this before the cats. But I think the cats kind of helped her escalate that, which was, well, so-and-so has 35 cats. Why can't you take 40 cats?
Gross. No, that's too many. I'm sorry. I thought maybe one or two cats at a time.
No, sister.
Both of those numbers are out of control.
In the 10s, 20s, 30s.
I can't even imagine, you guys. I can't.
No.
I could never be a member of this religion. I didn't think I could from the beginning, but I couldn't.
The cats are the final straw.
So from the former cult members, they're like, there's litter boxes everywhere. And you can't even keep up with keeping them clean because you have so many cats and they all smelled. Mary even said her house only smelled like bleach and cats. Bleach because she was trying so hard to get control of the smell. And of course, cats because cats.
It's a bad combination.
Honestly,
cat smell. Well, at least 40.
Mary, I think she said she topped out at like 17 cats.
Okay, that's still
17
too many.
is more than I could handle.
You guys, the feral cats in my neighborhood that are outdoors, not even indoors, that like run around and scavenge, the place where they hang out the most, when the sun is shining, you can smell the cat pee.
No.
If the wind like is wafting from where if it's hot and like a low hot breeze, it wafts. It's bad.
That's disgusting.
I'm just saying the smell.
The smell.
You can keep that story in about the smell.
The smell.
Yeah,
I will.
Gross.
I'll keep
It's
this.
bad.
I'll keep this part in too, so listeners don't know what they missed. And it was a giant period story from both of my sisters, Emily and Nettie.
No, please cut that out. Yes. Well, no, because if you keep in the story about the cats,
What are you doing?
Just
What are you doing?
You would flow in perfectly.
What are you
Okay,
doing
never
right
mind.
now?
Okay. I just didn't know what you were going to cut out. If I said you were keeping...
What are you going to do
right
to
now,
let me continue telling my story?
Right now, I'm going to just close my mouth.
Oh my God, I love you both so much. All right.
And we love you.
Thank you. So, if you said no to Sheryl about taking a cat, she would publicly humiliate you and you would be exiled. And then...
Yes! That sounds amazing.
Finally.
Well, you would start to lose things, like sometimes your job or your house or your footing in life. Not to mention your friends and possibly your family.
Wait, did she like teach some rhetoric in her church that if you stopped taking cats and stopped believing in her, that your life would fall apart?
Well, former members said that they would watch other members like leave, but then like their life would completely fall apart and they're not entirely sure how Sheryl did it.
Right. I'm just saying that's a common rhetoric, like to keep people inside is that fear. Like that people that leave, look at what happens to them.
Yep. She definitely used that.
Ooh, that girl. Not cool, Sheryl.
So you didn't have people like sharing on the documentary that they were a part of trying to make other people's lives fall apart.
That was not part of the former members that were on this show, but one of the former members said she, quote, she just had the connections.
Oh.
Wow.
So...
Wow.
But there was definitely like the muscle in her cult.
So was there
like,
money? Is that why she was trying to do this?
Oh, some of these members, they would get like one of the former members do like because they adopted kids, they actually had like a tax return of like $42,000. Gave it to Sheryl.
Because they adopted kids?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say cats. So when you said kids,
you're
I
like, wait,
cats.
human,
children.
I was like, wait a minute, can I adopt cats and get that much of a tax return?
No, but human children, yes.
Wow, I had no idea.
And Mary Lancaster, she had savings of like, I think it was like $50,000, and she said at least half of it went to Sheryl.
Wow.
So the cats were the vessels that would save them. And then eventually the cat would turn into a human. And
perfect.
Okay.
Yes. So Connie, a former member, says that she doesn't know how to explain it. It's just what Sheryl said. And Connie and her husband, Ricky, they begin to make a plan to leave with their children. And these are the two that adopted. Connie just was like at her breaking point. She could not handle the addition of the cats because Cheryl's cult was very time consuming, very like just all consuming. And Connie one day at her breaking point spills her guts to a friend. She says, "My kids have to come first, not the cats." And Connie said that her friend like held her and was just kind of like, "Oh gosh, I know it's hard. I know." And then
friend that was not a member
of the cult.
Oh, member of the cult. Okay.
Not 15 minutes later, Her friend had already reported Connie to Sheryl, and Sheryl was at her door with Connie's former friend. And Connie knew
That's
they were.
awful.
Connie knew they were going to be humiliated, and Connie just like could not even handle that. And so,
She's like, I think I'm going to get some new friends.
We're
done.
Cut to Mary Walker. Remember, Mark's wife. Mark is Cheryl's ex. She witnessed Sheryl using her children as pawns, and things were getting so bad with Mark's kids that Mark told Mary if she saw his children that she should run the other way and call 911. There's only one reason for them to be there.
Wait, so how old are these kids at this point?
I would believe that this information was probably after they found out that Sheryl tried to kill him.
Okay, so maybe the kids are because they had 50-50 custody.
But they were all okay, this is what I think. I think that maybe at this point, some of his kids are adults, but not all of his kids are adults.
Okay, got it. Yikes, poor Mark. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they would only be there to kill her and or him.
Yikes.
And so, FYI, I'm taking these notes like just as the show is going. So I'm like, cut to this, cut to that as the episode is cutting to this, cutting to that.
So it wasn't just Mark that the kids had been kind of coached to murder, but it was also Mary.
Hold that thought.
Okay, I'll hold it.
So, cut to Mary Lancaster, Cheryl's former lover.
Okay.
So Sheryl eventually closes this cult to new members. They were like at 200 and Sheryl was like, cap it. Nobody else can join. And it was also this cat rescue of Eva's Eden. And each member's home had like 17 to 30 cats. And you had to tend to the cats every 3 hours. Like even when you're sleeping, set your alarm for every 3 hours, tend to these cats.
It's like a newborn.
Even if you have a job, like how?
It's too much.
Exactly.
And
And
she's not asking them to quit their jobs because she needs their money, right?
But you better make these cats the center of your universe. And the division that Sheryl had in her own cult, Mary didn't even feel like she could talk to her sister for fear that her sister would turn her in.
Wow.
And just there's this environment of like tattling on each other for any if you even were like, gosh, I'm so tired and I have to take care of the cats so often, like, oh, hey, Sheryl, guess what so-and-so said? And having that distrust in the group, so she's already isolated this group, and then having this distrust isolates each member of the group, right? So the only person that you can turn to is Sheryl. That distrust makes her the center of attention. And in 2006, the Da Vinci Code comes out with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And the congregation goes to see it together. And after this, Sheryl starts to say that she is the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene, but as the movie depicts, not as a prostitute, but as the wife of Jesus Christ. So reincarnation enters the chat.
Okay. Okay. Sheryl just gets ideas and runs with them. I mean, that's admirable.
Wait, so Sheryl thinks that she is Mary, the wife of Jesus?
Magdalene.
Okay.
Yeah, the wife of Jesus.
As the movie depicts.
Yes. So,
which I will say, I do believe that the depiction of Mary Magdalene as a prostitute was like a lot of religious scholars believe that was put to just take more power away from women, like in the general scheme of the Bible being changed to control women.
Yeah, agreed. So now she starts to put her own blood in the communion.
Oh,
She'll prick her finger, cut her finger, squeeze it into that pitcher of water, and make everyone drink it.
Which she knows who will hesitate because she did the salt thing.
So conform or lose your church. And if you lose your church, that means you're losing your friends and your family.
Okay.
And
sometimes that's okay.
right? So if we remember Rod from earlier, his wife.
Wait, Rod. I'm sorry.
Rod. His wife started attending the church without him.
Rod,
and didn't tell him.
I was thinking of Rick
Madrid.
Yeah, Rick Madrid. Okay,
Rick
Rod.
Radio.
I knew it. It was just a rad name.
I know. Rick Radio is also a rad name. His wife had started attending the church without him, and he was so not stoked on that. He and his wife were expecting a tax return, and he was hoping that they would pay some bills with it, maybe get ahead. But without his knowledge, his wife took the check, cashed it, and opened a separate account.
What?
Now, Rod's sister, Carol, who I love,
me too.
She took note of this event. She didn't care for this behavior. And Carol starts to just kind of compile like a little like file of Cheryl.
She's like paying attention.
I'm going to watch this woman. I'm going to watch her. She's taken my sister-in-law, and I think she's taken her for a ride. Rod's wife comes to him and says that Rod needs to turn over the finances or she's going to leave and take the children. And Rod was like, no. Came home to an empty house with notes from his children saying goodbye were the only thing in the house.
What?
House completely cleaned out.
That's thoughtful that they cleaned it at least.
So Rod takes his wife to court, and the judge rules that Cheryl presents a clear and present danger to her and the children.
Oh my gosh! A
Thank
voice of
you,
reason.
Carol.
Yes.
And
Thank you, Carol.
Rod is awarded custody of the children, but the location of his wife and kids is still unknown at this point. And Rod was like, I don't know if I'm going to see my kids again. And it had been 8 days. So
do we know the ages of these kids?
I think they were younger from the photos shown.
Okay.
So his wife reaches out due to this like legal, I think she got like a legal notification of like, this is what has just happened. And so she's like, hey, let's try some marriage counseling. And they do.
And
And
I don't trust her.
his wife says that she was focused on mending their marriage, and this goes on for about a year. With what Rod sees, because Rod didn't see that Carol was attending the church or anything anymore, and he thought that she had cut ties with Cheryl.
Right.
And so Rod agrees. Okay, so hold on. So they're reuniting.
Okay.
As far as Rod knows, and the kids' address is with him, but they both still have separate homes. And so his wife is like, hey, why don't you sell your house and let's get a house together? And in the meantime, why don't we change the kids' residence to my house?
Oh, don't listen to her, Rod. This sounds like a plot.
And Rod was like, no problem, because they're reuniting, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't real. And so Rod does that, and she immediately cuts him off and says she's keeping the kids, and she's been attending the cult the entire time. And after this, Rod was broke and emotionally drained. He didn't have the means for a new fight. And it seems like Cheryl won another loyal follower.
But wait. The judge still had an order that Rod had custody.
But on paper, Rod willingly changed the kids' addresses.
Dang, Rod, that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm. So
Sometimes you can't trust a bitch.
no.
Cut that.
Trust no bitch.
Or keep it.
So Mark Walker said that when they were married, Cheryl always overspent, never could keep in a budget, and always said that Mark left her with no money, didn't pay child support. She told the children that he gave her nothing in their divorce. And even though it is provable, Mark paid Cheryl $750,000 and she got child support.
So she's just feeding the kids a story.
Mm-hmm. And Sheryl told everybody that he left her destitute and told her followers to give everything they could to help her and her kids. And the books show that she was making millions. Her followers were having trouble to pay their bills, but not Sheryl. And Sheryl got a boob job. Her hair was always done. Nails always done.
No wonder she looks so good in lingerie. I mean, the nails.
It's the nails, hair, and the boobs too a little.
That's why I look so good in lingerie is the fingernails.
Tax returns went to Sheryl. Some followers even cashed out their retirements to give to Sheryl. So, back to the cats. Eva's Eden is set up, and it looks and operates like a cat rescue.
Okay.
And Sheryl is getting these cats from the shelters at no cost. Her members are going to get these free cats. And then the members have to pay for food and maintenance of these cats, plus $75 a pop each cat, plus adoption fees.
And she's making them
Goes
adopt
to
upwards of
Sheryl.
30?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I do have a question
Yes.
real quick. Why was it called Eva's Eden?
Never got into that.
Interesting.
Okay, so not only do they have to buy these cats, but they have to buy specific food, litter, and toys that Sheryl sells.
Oh,
And it was all very expensive.
I'm sure. Wow, what a piece of work.
So enters the boob job, Botox, hair, nails, any maintenance that she
This reminds
wishes.
me of college professors that have that teach a course that is required for graduation that decide that the required textbook is written by them.
Yes.
And that's not to like shame anybody who gets a boob job or gets their hair done.
Or is a
I'm a
college professor.
I'm a hairdresser, but when my
Yeah,
problem
get your nails done.
My problem is that she's in a position of power and she's abusing it. That is my
Right.
issue.
She's using the funds that are everyone thinks are going towards something else. And this is why I think that accountability, this is part of the reason why I kind of lean towards like I don't know, just I feel like there should be some accountability in finances with private, not even just religions, but like nonprofits.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So her former follower, Connie, recalls telling her husband, Ricky, that she thinks Sheryl is trying to tear them apart. And Ricky was like, yes, absolutely. And they start to make a plan to like really leave this time. And this is when Connie gets a call that her father has Alzheimer's. And they use this family event to get out of the cult. They did not take no for an answer from anyone. That they needed to go, I believe it was North Carolina. I can't remember exactly. But they didn't take no for an answer from anyone because people kept on being like, you don't need to go. Like you can just, attend to him from afar.
Yeah, support
And
your
they were
father via telephone calls.
So, like, what are you going to take 17 cats to visit your father?
I think she was upwards of like 30.
Oh, jeez.
And they did not tell anyone exactly where they were going. They took their kids and they left like kind of just in the middle of the night.
Can you imagine being
situation.
so afraid of the people, like of the group that you're surrounding, that you have to up and leave in the middle of the night? That's
Like,
awful.
It's such high control that it was just like that's how you had to do it.
Yeah.
That's how you had to extricate yourself because otherwise you could get roped back in. Like she got roped back in that first time when she like confided in in someone that she thought was her friend.
Right.
Crazy.
Well, and honestly, the girl that she confided in probably actually thought she was doing the right thing because she was so brainwashed. Like, I'm a good enough friend that I'm going to go tell our prophet, Sheryl. I just don't think that there's any prophets named Sheryl.
No,
Can I
That's
just...
because you're a misogynist.
Well, I don't think there's any prophets named lots of male names that I shan't list now, but there's a long list.
And so there's this like really like beautiful moment in the documentary where Connie apologizes to her daughter. Her daughter's named Faith, and Faith is just like, yeah, I think that if you and Dad hadn't left when you did, that like none of us would be talking to each other anymore.
Because Faith was going to leave.
Just because Sheryl tears people apart.
Tears people apart. Yeah.
Yeah. Sheryl, Faith was like 6 or 7 at the time. So
Sheryl.
So back to Mark. This date sticks out to Mark because February 11th, 2013, he sees his daughter. She's the youngest. It is 1 week before her 18th birthday. And they make plans to get together on her birthday. The day comes and the daughter's phone is disconnected.
No.
He cannot get a hold of Sheryl or his sons. And he's very worried. So he goes to Cheryl's house and it is vacant.
No. Oh my gosh.
So this is where a former member of the cult tells us Sheryl based the move of the entire cult on her youngest daughter's 18th birthday.
Oh,
at
my
midnight,
goodness.
When the youngest turned 18 legally, they drive out of town, cutting off all phones, cutting off all contacts. And Sheryl instructed her followers to lie when they left and to not mention her name or their group when they said why they were leaving Washington. And this cut Mark off from his children, and this was definitely done to hurt him the most.
Wow.
Sheryl had Mark's youngest daughter graduate early because Mark went to the school, and he was like, "Where is my daughter?" Had her graduate 6 months early so that they could leave in the middle of the night.
When she turned 18, like her senior year. Oh, my goodness.
And Mary Lancaster, the former cult member, said that this all was done very much to hurt Mark.
Wow. She's that angry at Mark for not believing in her.
You know, he could have just died, though. I mean, that's on him.
Sheryl felt that Mark's presence in her children's lives was not allowing her to have full spiritual growth.
Oh my gosh.
And we shall not forget that she tried to have him murdered.
Yeah, a couple times. By the way, so when she broke it off, or when Rick Madrid, when that relationship ended, did he leave the cult?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because she kicked him out.
That's right. She kicked him out. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
challenged her. He
her.
said, if you're a prophet, then why did God tell me to not kill Mark?
That's okay. That is right. Okay. Just making the connections.
Mm-hmm. So leaving town, a giant bus full of Cheryl's things was definitely driven by cult members because Sheryl was not really going to be doing any of the work herself. And it was this
she
giant
should be
bus.
relaxing in the back of the bus on a big bed.
Could you relax in a giant bus filled with cats, chickens, guns, and gold?
No, I could not.
I might be able to. It depends.
I don't think you could.
So all of Cheryl's precious items were in this bus. Chickens, cats, guns, gold.
What a combination.
CCGG for life.
For life. For life. And all of this is headed to Tennessee. And Mark spends months trying to find out where his kids are and finds Sheryl because she buys a horse in Tennessee. And he finds this out because, do we remember Carol?
Yes.
Rod's sister, who had that file on Sheryl?
Yes.
Well, she had a Google alert on her phone about Sheryl. She just was like, I'm keeping tabs on this bitch. And
just to prove that I'm not a misogynist, I could follow a prophet named Carol.
Yeah.
I know you could.
Just not Sheryl.
Yeah.
It would be a doomsday prophetess named Carol of the Hells.
Carol of the Hills, Emily.
Why? Carol of the Hells rhymes with Carol of the Bells, and it's a doomsday cult, so you're talking about hell.
Oh, dang. That was actually a really good rhyme, but I just, but hell was in it.
Okay, you write your own cult nitty. Carol of the Hill. Go.
Carol of the Hills rhymes with Carol of the Bills.
Who are the Bills?
Buffalo Bills, obviously.
Oh.
You know, that sports team.
Haley. I'm pretty sure they play a sport.
I only have one sweatshirt and it just says sports on
Me
it.
too. We all have it. We are fans.
I never specified which sport.
It's Bills.
All right. And so Mark finds Sheryl because she bought a horse in Tennessee. And he calls the sheriff's department. Oh, shoot. What town in Tennessee was it? I don't have that.
I
think of a
think
single
I
town
might be
in
able to tell
Tennessee.
you.
It might be Columbia, Tennessee.
It is Columbia,
So-
Tennessee.
Perfect. So he calls the sheriff's department to do a welfare check on his adult children. This stupid sheriff calls Sheryl. And Sheryl is their abuser for all we know.
Oh, Sheriff.
That's how Mark feels because he was so aghast when he talks to the sheriff next. Sheryl talks this sheriff into believing that Mark is a terrible human being, deadbeat dad, abusive to her and the children. And so when the next time Mark talks to the sheriff tells him off, says he's a bad person, to never try and contact Sheryl or his kids again. And if Mark shows up to this town, he will arrest Mark.
Wow. Okay,
Mhm.
I have a couple thoughts. First of
Okay.
all, I think that there are probably many instances where women are fleeing abusive men.
Mhm.
And so it almost seems a little fair that would be the sheriff's reaction. I would say more often women are fleeing abusive men
Mhm.
than the reverse.
Right.
Probably
Than
true.
abusive women fleeing men. So I can kind of for the most part, you would almost be, if this story were reversed and
Mhm.
Sheryl actually and Sheryl and her kids were victims of Mark, we'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that that sheriff didn't listen to Mark
Uh-huh.
because
Since-
we've heard
Since
countless
he listened
cases.
to Sheryl, though, we've got to call him the sheriff.
Sheryl. But you've heard countless cases where why did he just decide to listen to this man? Why did he decide to listen to this man? So it's this
Yeah,
weird thing
you're
where
right.
I can't be mad at the sheriff.
Okay, and also the way I knew that it was Columbia, Tennessee is because when I was looking at pictures of Sheryl to see how hot she was, I saw this picture of an article called Apocalypse Meow.
Oh, yes.
Apocalypse Meow.
Love it.
That was a stained glass picture of a cat that I will share on our socials.
Wait, so that title has already been taken?
Unfortunately, yes. But it
Shit.
said in the first sentence that they had moved to Columbia, Tennessee.
Now, back to Carol, Rod's sister. She finds out Sheryl bought a house on 42 acres in cash. Do either of you want to guess how much money this house was?
42 acres. Okay, we're
In
the
Tennessee.
early 2000s.
I believe
No.
we're like 2008 now.
No, because
I'm
you
gonna
already
say-
said something about 2013 when her daughter was graduating, I think. So
Oh,
I think we're
we're in
the
2013.
20
Okay, 42 acres in cash in Tennessee. Okay, hold on.
Let me
A 2.3 million.
Yes, 4.5 million.
Oh, just under $1 million. Shit.
Oh, we both overestimated.
Shot.
Estimated. Oh,
But
gosh.
We
almost $1
overshot our
million.
shot.
And but it was in cash, nearly $1 million. And when Carol finds out what the sheriff did to Mark, Carol's pissed. Why would law enforcement make a call like that? And her guess was
Oh my gosh. Was the sheriff sleeping with Sheryl?
not that far. She says, quote, "My guess was he saw the voluptuousness of her top end. They were bowling balls in a tight
You know
sweater."
what's funny is I actually did look at my notes. Nettie stopped talking when you were talking about it, and I kept thinking to myself, she probably had some kind of button down on and was unbuttoning the buttons while she talked to the sheriff. The sheriff was like, I got to protect these boobs at all costs.
At all costs. So we are in Columbia, Tennessee. It is 2013, and Mary Lancaster has 14 cats, and she's very overwhelmed.
Oh, Mary.
I wasn't totally clear on it, but it's like she did have work in the music industry, and she meets this other woman, and Mary like finally opens up to somebody, and this woman says, "Just move in with me. We'll make it work."
Someone outside of the cult.
Outside of the cult.
Finally.
It's her and her 17 cats. Move in with this woman.
I want to say I think that the cats, they maybe surrendered. Some
Maybe
of the
by
cats.
This point. And I can just say, it's like say in general, if you're ever in part of something where they say, if you are seeking answers or if you're having trouble, only look within, that's a bad sign.
It
like
is.
the reason why Mary was able to make this step is because she found a confidant outside of this group.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And so this helps Mary leave the cult. And with this step, Mary finally tells her sister that she's leaving the cult and that she's gay. And then Mary also says what happened with Sheryl and that Mary has found someone that she loves. And she says that her sister just starts crying.
Wait, did her sister not know about Sheryl and Mary?
No one knew about Sheryl and Mary except for Sheryl and Mary.
Because it was a covenant.
Uh-huh. So Mary's sister is not crying because she's sad, but she is so happy.
You got to be kidding me.
Because they both now can leave the cult together.
Wait, Mary's sister was like struggling too and they just couldn't tell each other because they were afraid?
Exactly.
Oh gosh, that's really hard.
You guys.
For the first time in so many years, they are finally able to be honest with each other. And then Mary tells Sheryl that she's leaving, and Sheryl starts to love bomb again. But Mary stays strong, and she leaves. And so the quote-unquote muscles man gives Mary a call and tells Mary that she has to destroy every photo, every letter, every song, and every video that has anything to do with Sheryl. And Mary does it to leave.
She does?
And then
I
later,
would have been like, I already did.
Later, Mary was like, why didn't I just say yes and keep everything?
No kidding. Well, I think it's just that thing like where you see people leave these high control religions, but still completely devote their lives to like patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see it so much where it's like you can separate yourself from the religion, but if you've been raised,
you're still conditioned, right?
Yeah, the conditioning is still there,
Mm-hmm.
and so even though she was probably like, "This is wrong, this is messed up, I've got to get out."
Or she probably also felt that fear after seeing so many people have devastating consequences for leaving. You know, she probably felt like, okay, I've got to comply, or they're going to somehow find out and get me.
Yeah. So Mary is afraid that Sheryl will turn vindictive, as she had with many others, but Sheryl did not. And Mary thinks that Sheryl took it easy on her because Sheryl was actually afraid of Mary and what Mary could do and say about Sheryl. So we are back to Mary Walker, Mark's wife, and it's 2014. And this is when they find out that Sheryl had tried to kill them about a decade earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And they never reported it, but Rick Madrid himself contacts Mary and Mark, and he tells them the entire story. And this is when Mary creates a Facebook page called "Is There a Cult in Columbia, Tennessee?"
Oh, wow.
And this
also good for
Rick.
Rick.
Say, is there a cult in Columbia, Tennessee? Right, meow?
Right, meow. She really missed that opportunity.
Unfortunately.
And so this Facebook page turns out to be a great resource for former members to tell their stories. And they could all like connect with each other and be like, oh my gosh, you went through that? I went through that. And this also rings alarm bells for Columbia, Tennessee at large, becoming aware of a harmful group that is growing among them. And this possibly makes Sheryl more paranoid than she already was.
Do we know why she chose Columbia, Tennessee?
No, I didn't even think about that.
Huh. Well, maybe it was just like, where does God want me to go? And then she's like, I'm just going to throw a dice on a map.
Dice on a map? I've never heard of that, but I've heard of a dart on a map.
Listen, a dart on a map is one way to do it. If you throw a dice on a map is totally different.
Dice on a map, it's like coordinates, and sometimes it's in the middle of the ocean, and that means you skip the ocean and go to Tennessee.
That means you're going to go hang out with the dolphins like that Florida man.
Do not
guy.
pass go. Go straight to Tennessee. That's what the dice on the map.
So, some years pass. It's 2021. Carol has not given up on tracking Sheryl. And she gets the alert that the podcast The Opportunist has an episode with Rick Madrid.
What? Are you kidding?
And Rick Madrid tells his story. And
Oh my
he
gosh.
talks about Sheryl, the alleged assassination, and
Did you listen to
everything.
the episode?
No, I didn't.
I want to.
I didn't
I'm
have
gonna
time.
I'm going to add it to my list.
And everything that Sheryl put him up to. So in 2024, producers from the documentary try and contact Rick Madrid. And they get in touch
Really?
with a family member or somebody close, and they ask to speak with Rick. And this person says Rick died
No.
a few years ago.
No.
And when they try to explain, they say he had sleep apnea, and they claim that he died in his sleep.
Yeah. A lot of people have sleep apnea.
But Rick appears on a podcast and alleges that Sheryl put him up to murder. Then only a few months later, he passes away.
It sounds suspect.
Very suspect.
Totally sus.
I don't trust it.
So Beth Karras, who is a legal expert, she talks about how he was in New Mexico when he passed away, and New Mexico does not issue a death certificate to anyone but family. And there was no obituary, so his cause of death cannot be independently confirmed.
I don't like that. I don't think that's a good rule.
So could Sheryl have possibly gotten a follower of hers to take care of Rick Madrid?
Well, we know that is within her wheelhouse. We know she is definitely not above that.
Mm-hmm. And both of the former cult members in this documentary think Sheryl is totally capable of manipulating someone into carrying out anything she would ask.
That is murder.
And
Talking someone else to murder someone else is murder.
yes. What else did Rick know that would make Sheryl so scared? So it's 2024 with Mary Walker, and Mary and Mark get the message telling them that Rick passed away. And they ended up actually being friends with Rick.
Really?
Not close, but they communicated with each other.
Well, they had this trauma in common with Sheryl.
Yeah. And about
so
10
they were able to
years-
share roll that with each other.
Yes.
Yes, you did it.
Yes.
Thank you. I did it.
So
I'm sorry. Can I do one more?
Yeah.
They were able to share roll that with each other.
the first one was better.
Oh, I don't know. The second one I used to share and all.
You got two options,
Combined
Hayley.
into her name.
Two options.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Keep them both in.
So
So we
there are a few things that have been said about Rick's death, that he died from sleep apnea, that he died from a brain aneurysm, or there's the suspicion or the alleged thought that Sheryl paid him to go away. The one thing that is consistent is that most people who know about Rick think that his death is suspicious.
And there was Rick Madrid for sure, his real name.
That's what he was always referred to as.
Okay.
I think so, because they talk with his nephew. I don't know if this is his nephew's real name, but he does refer to him as Rick.
Okay. Well, more. Yeah. I just wondered, if so say he's not dead and it's just was rumor. Was Rick Madrid a pseudonym? Or you know what I mean? Was his name really Bill Johns?
Maybe Bill Johns. I don't know.
son.
Probably.
I had that thought, but I just am going to call him Rick Madrid.
Yeah, I'm just supposing.
Yeah. Everyone refers to him as Rick Madrid, even the former cult members. So.
Gotta say, if I suddenly started going by Rick Madrid, I hope you guys would refer to me as Rick Madrid instead of Jeanette Smith.
You would have to wear a motorcycle jacket. So
I would. Yeah, I already do. So no problem. I'm going to have once.
Oh, I forgot you love your motorcycle jackets.
I think I DI'd it, but I did have one once.
So Mary meets with Rick's nephew, and she's hoping that his name is Randy, hoping that he can answer some questions.
Is his name Randy Madrid, or is his name Randy something else?
John's
son.
I don't know. I was assuming Randy Madrid, but I'm not sure. But Randy declined to be interviewed by the documentary, so Mary privately, off camera, goes and talks with him. But she does, kind of give like a rundown of what they talked about. And Randy confirmed what Rick told Mary and Mark years earlier, but went on to say that Rick told him that allegedly Sheryl wanted Rick to not only kill Mark, but Mary and Mary's 3 children.
You're kidding me.
Serious.
Mary's kids. So Cheryl's kids would have been safe.
Yes.
That is yikes.
Just getting that whole thing out of Cheryl's hair or whatever.
Oh, Sheryl, you're the worst.
And Randy does not even know how Rick passed away. Randy is getting several different stories from different family members. And so the statute of limitations on conspiracy to commit murder has lapsed. Sheryl.
There's a statute of limitations on conspiracy to commit murder? Ugh.
So Sheryl could still go down for another crime, which so many horrible people have committed horrible crimes that they don't go down for, but they go down for, like Diddy, financial crimes.
Oh, Diddy. I knew he was going to worm his way into this.
So Carol is very hopeful that Sheryl will go down for like pilfering money from her followers, not paying taxes. And Carol has also found at least, I think, 2 offshore accounts. Emily, I love you're so astonished. Not yawning at all.
Offshore.
Where's your offshore account?
I was going to say, what are you going to do to be offshore? But yours was better.
And Carol has a few questions. What is she putting in the offshore accounts? Where is the gold? Where are the precious metals?
I want to know where those chickens went.
Yeah.
Oh, she says several different bank accounts.
Better not be cats and chickens in the offshore accounts. That's what I'll say right now.
Exactly. So, Carol says several different offshore accounts. So who knows how many? And why isn't Sheryl being looked at?
Right. I think it's the tits.
The boobs. Tits. Always.
Everyone who's sent to look at her is like, we took a look. Things looked great. Things looked swell.
I stared deep into the crevasse.
Things looked like just like they were doing fine.
So Sheryl has since moved to Kentucky. She started a new rescue called Da Vinci's Dream, a dog and cat rescue.
Oh.
And they're supposed to be nonprofit. So maybe one of these days, Sheryl could go down for tax evasion and fraud, ? It's likely she should be investigated.
Yeah, Sheryl, you should be. Did you change your name?
No. Sheryl Walker Ruthven. Oh, I've been calling her Ruthven. Sheryl Walker Ruthven. The pain and suffering that she has brought into the lives of many of her followers, not to mention the families she's torn apart. Mark Walker still suffers so greatly for not being in contact with his kids that he loves so much.
Those kids, I hope they'll see the light
Or
or step up and speak. Like, that's the thing. We don't even know where they are. Are they even around?
Well, they're in Kentucky.
But
their
for sure?
mom. Yes.
Like, if he hasn't heard from them.
he hasn't heard from them, but there are like financial records that people can follow, like Carol does. And the kids are with Sheryl. They're still like,
but they're adults.
they're adults. They have like, I think at least one of them has started their own family.
I thought you were going to say own cat cult. And I was like, another one.
But they are very, like, still very closely associated with their
mom.
You know,
this is what happens. A lot of people that are raised in super high control environments where they don't go through any sort of adolescent rebellion, go through what is called a second adolescence. And it usually happens in their late 20s or late 30s. And it is sort of this time when you finally almost rebel against what you were taught. And I think if we just give it some time, these kiddos, boys, girls, I actually don't think we even knew.
3 boys and a girl. No, 2 boys and a girl.
I think these kids might go through that where they start to question their mother's teachings.
Maybe. And, I mean, that remains to be seen.
Sometimes even like just the social pressure, like if the public being aware, and they're like, every single person in the United States is saying you're a cult leader, Mom. And she's like, stop looking at the internet. Write meow.
Write meow. So, and she's not only tore apart her own family, she has torn apart other people's families, or at least attempted to.
Oh, she's so Jody.
And just watching Mark break down on camera about his kids, it was just incredibly heartbreaking.
That's so sad. I'd love to watch this.
You should go watch this episode. The Curious Case of ... on HBO. Former members Mary and Connie, they have been able to pick up the pieces of their lives, but the lasting harm Sheryl has done to them is certainly not forgotten. And Carol, who is just kind of on the like outskirts of this whole cult because it affected her brother so much, she's just like still like, she's dangerous. She destroys people and she'll destroy your family.
Yeah. Well, she's watched it happen.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she lost her nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mark, recalling the last time he spoke to his daughter was that date, February 11th, 2013, just a few days before his youngest daughter was about to turn 18.
So she'd be 28 now. Just about the right age for a second adolescence.
Yeah.
Young one, go for it. Do it. Follow your heart.
10 out of 10 that he recommends.
Mark was hopeful that by now they would have figured it out and found him. And so he just doesn't know any other steps to take to try and like get to his children.
Yeah.
And while Mary Lancaster and her musician friend did not work out, she did fall in love with a wonderful woman. They're married, and
I'm so glad
she has her family.
And did she keep any cats other than her
One
cat shirt?
cat.
Perfect number of cats.
One.
Perfect number of cats.
The cat actually is a cat she got from when she was still in the cult. And Mary has a message for anyone who might be stuck in a tough situation. Quote, "If anybody's listening to this that's still stuck in a deep, dark place with someone who manipulates you and tells you if you leave, bad things will happen to you, I promise you it won't. You will only find light and authenticity on the other side of those lies." End of quote.
There's a big
that
world.
was really pretty.
I love that, Hayley. Thank you.
So Sheryl and her family were reached out to comment, and they did not respond. And Ruthven followers have denied any wrongdoing and allege that claims against Ruthven / her ministry come from former members who are a hate group aimed at slandering their ministry.
Like as in Sheryl Ruthven?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sheryl Ruthven is still active and currently living in Columbia, Kentucky.
Oh.
And that is the case.
Wait, not Columbia, Tennessee?
No, Columbia, Kentucky.
Oh.
And that is the case of the Doomsday Cat Cult from Washington.
Wait, it says Columbia, Tennessee. Are you sure it's not Columbia, Tennessee?
She moved to Kentucky, and that's what was... I mean, there's probably another town in Kentucky called Columbia.
Sure,
Well, she just loves places called
Columbia.
Well, she moved from the Columbia River to Columbia, Tennessee, to Columbia, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Is there a Columbia conspiracy?
Could be a Columbia conspiracy.
I wonder. Hayley, that was fascinating. Holy cow.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, I think she was money hungry.
Uh-huh.
I think that she just saw, and she was an opportunist. Like I see her as a charming, personable, like really, you know how there's like the levels of intelligences and like the different types of intelligence.
Mhm.
Clearly she was good at reading people, charming people, manipulating people, which is it's a whole different skill set than being like academically smart. And then she saw opportunities. So
Yeah.
opportunist, good at reading people, manipulating.
Like street smarts versus book smarts.
I mean, she might have been book smart too, but yes. And kind of that people smart. And also, I think identifying vulnerable people who were missing something, which you see this so often in cult members where people are like, I joined because they saw something in me that was such a wound that no one else ever saw.
Which was very much Mary Lancaster's story.
Yes.
She lives in Columbia, Kentucky, and before lived in Columbia, Tennessee. So Columbia, Kentucky
what I said.
yeah, it just was verifying. 'Cause
Holy
I thought it
cow.
must have been I just was
Because it was weird that she went from Columbia, Tennessee to Columbia, Kentucky.
No, I totally misread. I thought you were like, boom. See?
like no, she just she lives
Emily, you
in
should have started
Adair
that with just like Hayley
County.
said.
in Adair County, Kentucky.
Okay.
Boom. Gotcha, liar.
Gotcha moment.
Gotcha, Hayley. She moved from the Columbia River to the Columbia, Tennessee
my
to
gosh.
Columbia, Kentucky.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. What a weird. Oh my gosh. I just want to know more.
I
I
know.
have so many questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I've like explored the Facebook page, which was, is there a cult in Columbia, Tennessee? I wonder, this is just kind of off the top of my head. I wonder if she did that move to maybe try and confuse things a little bit.
Maybe. People will be like, where? Kentucky or Tennessee?
Or the river.
She's like, or
Which
South
one?
America. Which one?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I wonder if she did that maybe purposefully to be a little bit confusing, but I did look at the Facebook page just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like glean a ton of new information from that. Cheryl is pretty locked down.
I have a couple things.
Okay.
I loved that Cheryl and Carol rhymed. That was a really delightful, just like sort of thing for me in the story. Every time you'd be like, then Carol was following Cheryl. And I was like, I love it. It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Second, can we make a sister pact right now that if we are ever all part of any sort of organization and any of us confide in each other about something, that we don't go run to the person in charge and tattle on the sister?
Look, this is what I'm going to do. If either of you are ever in an organization that seems high control, I'm going to kidnap you.
I'm not joining an organization without you.
I'm going to put you in a van. We're just going to take you somewhere and deprogram you.
Thank you, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't join without you.
Hey, Nettie, what I'm hearing is this is probably going to be you and me joining Hayley's cult. And I will not tell Hayley
Thank you.
if you realize you're in the high control.
Thank
you, Emily. That's
Thank
what I
you.
was going for.
Yeah. You guys don't know it,
Start
but you're already
keeping
in
my
it.
secrets safe, Emily.
Love you both.
We have always known that if any of us was going to start a cult, it was going to be Hayley. Oh my gosh.
It's going to be quirky and revolve around true crime.
It's my
so.
favorite. This is our podcast cult. We're in it all together.
Gosh.
Hooray.
Yeah. Wow. So many. I feel like that whole thing just opened up so many questions in my mind, like statute of limitations on conspiracy to commit murder. What? I knew there was no statute of limitations on murder, but there's
Yeah.
a statute of limitations on conspiracy to commit murder?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi.
I don't know why there's ever any statute of limitations
On
ever on
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it does
I mean,
seem
I
like
can
at least
understand for like,
for the life of the victim, right? Like, I understand if somebody's already, I mean, for murder, it should never go away, right? There should not be a statute of limitations. But if somebody has been wronged, why is there a statute of limitations on that ever? Especially
Right,
if it's
no, I
any kind
agree.
of physical crime, right? Like I can understand if it's like 20 years ago somebody like stole my whatever. Like I can understand there being a statute of limitations on that kind of thing. But like if there's something where somebody was hurt or the potential to be hurt or whatever, like why is that? Why are we?
it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just so
That
that we don't
people-
have like undue burdens on the justice system. Like if people
Yeah.
are
Yeah, well,
clogging
let's
up.
just pump up that justice system. I mean, like, let's go back to the Candy Cane Park murder, where suddenly the cold case funding was stopped because the feds decided they were going to cut funding to cold cases, as if it doesn't matter. Like, it's real. Like, there's still victims. There's still like survivors around. And now we might not get answers because the federal government decides to cut funding. Like,
stupid government.
It drives me.
Yeah.
I think that, like, if it's an undue burden on the justice system, let's funnel more money towards justice and maybe less towards, like, I don't know, taking over foreign lands.
It's really infuriating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think we
I
just.
think the
I think we just
system is
solved
for
it.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
we did.
I think the system is for sure set up not for victims.
Yes.
Yeah.
Haley, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. We
Well,
always come back to
I'll take
that.
us-
It feels like.
And once
Yeah.
again, we are ending this episode with the system is definitely not set up for victims.
Does anybody
quote
have?
I have a happy thing.
Perfect.
Did you guys see the TikToks? I actually think this happened in January, but there was an elephant. Like this matriarch. I don't know if you guys knew that elephant societies? Groups of elephants, herds of elephants are matriarchal. And there was an elephant. Her name was Tasman. And she, her herd got caught in a quicksand pit. So she went in, got every single member of her herd out, like was able to like boost them out, but then they could not get her out. And I don't know how the humans came to understand that this is what happened, but she basically like was like in her elephant language, like, leave me. I've rescued you. That's my purpose. Like, my purpose as the matriarch is to protect all of you. Somehow the herd drew attention to the humans in a village nearby that their matriarch was trapped in this quicksand pit. And all these people came and spent like days until they finally got Tasman out. They were able to like keep her head elevated. They had to use like boards and ropes. And then she was able, it was the most like amazing story. She was able to rest on the side of the quicksand pit, which, like, who knew quicksand it actually finally played a role.
Wow.
We were all prepared for it. And then we were kind of like, I guess it's not going to happen.
I thought I'd come across quicksand a lot more than I have, which is zero.
Yes. Well, no, at least once. But
Not
they
personally.
were able to rescue this lovely elephant matriarch. And then they just said like this trumpeting sounds of joy when the elephant like rejoined her herd was like the most amazing thing.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
It's because animal rescue is the best.
Yeah.
And Cheryl's trying to ruin it.
And I saw this other TikTok. That was a TikTok, like most of my news. I saw this other TikTok where these people were just like out, like either hunting or 4x4ing. And they realized that a horse, like a wild horse, had fallen into like a creek, like a dry creek bed that had carved its way down. The horse had clearly fallen in and gotten its rump stuck. And so this guy's like, I'm trying to free it. Like, so he's like poking at the dirt by the elephant's, not elephant, I'm on a horse now, by the horse's rump. And you're just like, I'm watching it the whole time going, oh no, it's going to think, because it's like, that's how you make a horse go faster, is like by like switching its like hindquarters. So it's like he's using this large log and trying to like break the dirt away, like trying to sand it away. They finally free her. Like the horse is clearly like frantic, but she keeps trying to go back to where she had gotten stuck. And so he keeps like trying to like poke the log down there so she won't. But it almost seems like mean because you're like, oh, but don't do that. It's scaring her. But finally, because he was scaring her away from this point, this horse was able to get out. And then when she finally like climbed her way out of this pit, she pranced away in such a way that all these people are like, I'm a horse trainer. She is showing you gratitude. Like that prancing and the turning your head, she's saying thank you. Like she recognizes that you did something for her.
Aww.
Because they were like, we feel so bad. We feel like we traumatized her, but we didn't want her to come back this way. It was such a beautiful thing. Anyways, 2 happy stories.
I love
Sweet.
that.
I like that too.
Thank you.
Sorry, they're not about cats.
Well, that's
Oh,
okay.
just
have
cats are cool.
we have our whole future for cat stories. Like the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to close this out now.
perfect.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Once again, we are the Spooky Darlings. Thank you to my sister for an awesome coverage of a crazy cult I'd never heard of. And if you have any stories or experiences that you'd like to submit to us about crazy experiences with cults or cats, please email us at thespookydarlings@gmail.com. And if you'll please take a moment, leave us a 5-star rating and write us a written review. We would love it. We are going to start reading or at least some of our written reviews on our Follow-Up Friday episodes. So thanks again for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
5 stars.
5 cats.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse. Meow. Darn it.
Yeah, it was really great.
Okay, this is all right. We're going to come up with a great name.
I don't know if they trademarked it. Maybe we could still use it.
We could use Meow Apocalypse. Just switch the words.
Why don't we call it Carol of the Bills? Apocalypse Bills.
Parentheses, Buffalo Bills.
Oh, man.
Hark how the Bills.
Yeah, listen, we can keep workshopping it. You've got great
Listen,
ideas.
it could be the sweet silver bills.
Sweet silver bills.
Buffalo Bills in parentheses.
Throw cats away instead of cares.
No,
All seem to say throw cats away.
We're gonna get on.
They don't throw cats away, though.
We're gonna
No,
get
no,
on the
cats are
wrong
apparent-
side of cat talk if we try to say throw cats away.
I'm just
I
trying to
can't
use
abide it.
words and Carol of the Bells. Emily, you brought that up. Now you know me.
Now Nettie's obsessed
No,
with it.
my fault.
You know she has OCD.
Actually, I've never been diagnosed.
Listen,
You have it.
I've diagnosed us with it, so
And a doctor diagnosed Hayley. What?
Yeah.
I love this. You and I will diagnose each other. Haley will continue to get diagnosed by
No.
medical
I go and I
professional.
get diagnosed, and then I tell you guys what happened, and then it's like
oh,
you're also
you're like
diagnosed
that's
now.
Why
You're
I-
welcome.
That's why I am the way I am.
Or we're like, we already knew this.
You guys say that to me a lot, yeah.
We knew that. We knew this about all of us.
And I'm like, well, a doctor said it to me
Like, well, now you know it for fact.
for diagnosis purposes.
All right.
All right. I forgot that I wrote myself a note to Nettie. Stop talking.
Oh, you know what will help?
talking.
Put 3 exclamation points after it.
Oh, yeah. I'll do 2 more.
Oh, yeah, you
Boom,
need 2 more.
boom. There was only 1 exclamation point, and that's why it didn't work.
You didn't yell at yourself quite enough.
Also, I didn't write it in all caps. I'm going to rewrite it.
Oh, God.
I misspelled Nettie. Don't ask me how.
I never would.
Okay, I forgot the I.
I didn't ask. All right.
Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. And as always, stay spooky.